Where's du här min friend, and welcome to another video. So, I haven't talked about The Lord of the Rings in a while, and since the release of the Amazon's The Lord of the Rings TV show is approaching, unfortunately, we are getting to know more and more news each and every month. Here and there we hear about a new director that's going to direct one of the episodes, or some new cast news, but who cares in the end. I'm going to talk to you from a point of view of a man who has been a Tolkien fan for his entire life, a man who wrote two theses, a bachelor thesis and a master thesis on Tolkien, a man who published several articles on Tolkien and has been hugely inspired by Tolkien in writing his own poetry and short stories, a man who reads Tolkien canon, The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, and the Silmarillion, that is, each and every year. That is one of my goals. I said to myself a couple of years ago that one thing that I would do every year, no matter what, is to read those three awesome works of art by Tolkien. So I dare say that I know something. I know a little bit about Tolkien. And today I want to talk to you about why The Lord of the Rings by Amazon cannot work under any circumstances. Now, do bear in mind that from a huge part, this is my own opinion. Feel free to have your own opinions. I do respect the fact that you have your opinions and you are entitled to have them. But that does not need to mean that I have to agree with you, nor am I afraid of insulting anybody, because I do not give a flying toss about insulting anybody. I do not belong among the people who are ready to be insulted each and every day, or who would be afraid of speaking my mind and telling the truth, because I would be afraid that I would say something inappropriate that would offend a group, one group or another. So, here's why The Lord of the Rings Amazon TV show, made in 2021, cannot work. Tolkien wrote The Hobbit, or Tolkien published The Hobbit in 1937. That's the first half of the 20th century. And he started working on his Arda stories, the world in Elvish, in other words, when he was a very young man, when he was actually fighting in the ditches of World War I. He started writing the Silmarillion. He was an old school man. He was a man who believed in the traditional values. Even in his own age, in his own time, his colleagues, academics, who were amazed by the newfangled modernism and later postmodernism, didn't like him. They didn't like what he taught. They didn't like the fact that he was fascinated by Old English. They didn't like the fact that he was fascinated by the old myths and legends. They considered these things to be dead a long time. They considered these things to be old-fashioned and a matter of the distant past. They wanted something new, they wanted something modern, and they thought that Tolkien would not achieve what he later did achieve. And of course they were wrong. He proved them wrong. Do you know why? Because those things, those old European legends and myths and traditions and values, the old languages that Tolkien was so fascinated by and that were inspiration for him in creating his own languages, these things are, well, they are omnipresent. They will never die. And they will forever be a source of education, inspiration for many generations to come. Unfortunately, many people today do not realize it. Many people today don't know it. And as well as in the times of, Tolkien, when he lived, today's people don't appreciate these things from a huge extent. Some people do, the majority of people don't. Today, and especially as far as the modern entertainment industry goes, and art in general, be it literature, like books, comic books, and poetry, or the film industry, like, films and TV shows, even music industry and the computer game industry. People do not, or the creators do not really care about the art proper, about the good storytelling, about the good characters, or well-written characters, so that they capture the attention of the reader, so the reader can escape the reality for a considerable length of time. They are not able to make escapist literature or escapist art anymore, and they are most certainly not willing to respect the old authors and the old values. We see it each and every day. Books are being cancelled, books are being banned, books are being censored. Just very recently, 5 or 6 books by Dr. Seuss were cancelled. They were banned. They are not going to be published anymore because some sort of group of mentally ill people decided that they were racist. So who would expect Hollywood, basically, who cares if it's Amazon or Warner Brothers, whoever, Disney, bloody Disney, who cares what huge company or corporation it is? It's a huge leftist corporation that has power over the entertainment industry, and they believe in the newfangled, crippled, mentally ill values. Who would expect them to respect Tolkien? So the new Lord of the Rings made by Amazon is going to be a reflection, a mirror of 2021, which is an abominable world, worse than Mordor. So that is why, at least for me, the new Lord of the Rings TV show cannot work under any circumstances. Now, there is a chance that I will watch at least a couple of episodes, but believe me and trust me, it is going to be purgatory for me. It is going to be almost unbearable to watch if anything that I have heard about it is true. We shall see. This is my opinion. These are my predictions. Please do let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me or if your opinion differs in any way. I'm open to intelligent and educated discussion, and that will be all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to dislike this video if you didn't like it, or like this video if you liked it, and Namarie.